Hello friends, let us have the concept of re-engineering for software maintenance. Re-engineering consists of reverse engineering and forward engineering. When we need to update the software to keep it to the current market without impacting its functionality, it is called as re-engineering. Means already we do have software, we want to rewrite the entire software without impacting the current functionality, and also want to add few new functionalities. That is the concept of re-engineering. It is a process where the design of the software is changed and the programs are rewritten. Means whatever the software design we had done when we developed this product at initial years, so that design is need to be changed, and the entire program or the portion of that particular software need to be rewritten. Or legacy software cannot keep tuning with the latest technology market. Let us have an example. Initially, the Unix was developed in assembly language, but when the language C came into existence, Unix was re-engineered in language C, because the working in assembly language was very difficult. So that is an example that the entire Unix was re-engineered from assembly language to the language C. Other than this, sometimes the programmers notice that a few parts of the software need more maintenance than other portion. Then only those portions need to be re-engineered. Generally what happens that the practice of the software engineering is to make maintenance process low. So if the entire software is working well, but only the few parts require more maintenance, so generally what happens, they are doing the re-engineering process of that particular process, or you can say that particular part, to decrease the maintenance part. So that is the concept of re-engineering. This diagram shows the re-engineering process. So here in left side we are having the reverse engineering, and right side we are having the concept of forward engineering. In reverse engineering, the process of reverse engineering studies the code of the old software. From the code, it comes to the design part. By studying the code, it prepares the design of that old software, and from this design, it prepares requirements or specification of all the software which is running. So reverse engineering is the process for studying the code and preparing the requirement or user specification of the software. Here right side, forward engineering starts with the requirements, but these requirements are not only the requirements which is developed by reverse engineering, but we are adding some new requirements, we are changing the data structure, we are changing many things into the requirements, and with that requirement we are applying the new design concept, and based on those requirement or specification and new designs, the code are going to be rewritten into the latest technology, and the final version of the same software with the new technology, new requirements, everything come into existence. So by using the concept of reverse engineering and the forward engineering, this re-engineering concept will give us the final and latest version of the existing software. So finally we can say, what is reverse engineering? Reverse engineering is nothing but the obtain the specification, or we can say requirement of existing software by studying the code. Now the same for using the same specification, we are not going to develop the software. We are restructuring the program. We are changing the data structure of the obtained specification, and based on that restructure, or you can say new data structure, we are applying the re-engineering principle, you can say forward engineering principle, to get the final re-engineered software product. So reverse engineering gives us the specification, we are modifying the specification, we are modifying the data structure, you can say program, and we are doing the forward engineering to get the re-engineered final product, which is more than the equivalent of the current existing software. So what exactly the re-engineering process is? So the first step of the re-engineering process is to decide what to re-engineer. Whether we want to re-engineer the entire, you can say, whole software or the part of the software. So after deciding whether the whole software or a part of it, we need to perform the reverse engineering of that identified part in order to obtain the specification of existing software. So again, re-engineering is a process to obtain the specification of existing software. Now, after obtaining the specification, we may restructure the program if it is the required. For example, changing the function-oriented program into the object-oriented program, or restructure of the data, database, data structure. Because whatever written into the old software for the new requirement, new programs, new technology, we may change the way by which we want to deal with. And finally, we apply the forward engineering concept in order to get re-engineered software. In reverse engineering, let us start with the reverse engineering. In reverse engineering extract design information from the source code. We do have the source code of all the software. So first step of the reverse engineering is to extract the design information. We need to prepare the software design of the old software by studying the source code of the old software. And by deriving the design, or you can say design information, extracting the design information at different level, abstraction level will be different, and ideally the abstraction level should be as high as possible. As the abstraction level increases, the understandability of the software is going to be increased. So by doing the reverse engineering process, which design information we are extracting? So first we are deriving the procedural design representation by studying the code. Procedural design information is algorithmic information. So by studying the code, first step is we need to design the procedural representation. That is the low level of abstraction. Understanding is less in algorithm. After that, second stage is, after the procedural design representation, we are getting the program and data structure information. This data structure and this program information is somewhat higher level of abstraction than that of the procedural design representation. And after the data structure information, object model, data flow model, all these models are going to be derived. We can say this object model and data flow models are relatively high level of abstraction. Understandability of the data flow model is more than that of the procedural design and data structure information. Any end user having a less technical knowledge can understand the data flow models, not the procedural design. And finally, entity relationship models are going to be developed. So we can say, by studying the code, this procedural design, data structure design, object model design, data flow model, entity relationship model are going to be derived. So this is the first step, that by using this code, by studying this code, we are going to extract this design information. So this is what the designing thing. And from the designing thing, we are going to get the requirement of the software. And while deriving the design, the abstraction level increases, information is allowed easier to understanding of the problem. And in most of the cases, the abstraction level increases, interactivity is going to increase. So what do we mean by the interactivity? Interactivity refers to the degree to which the human is integrated with automated tools to create the effective reverse engineering process. And finally we can say directionality of the reverse engineering process is only one way. All information extracted from the source code is provided to the software engineer. Means only one way. We are having a code and we are getting all software specification, software requirement, that only the direction of reverse engineering is. Now after getting the final requirement of the software, forward engineering starts. So in forward engineering is a process of obtaining the final desired software from the specification which were brought by the reverse engineering. So reverse engineering is giving us the specification from the code. We are modifying the specification as per the new requirement. We are adding new specification, and based on those modified specification, so forward engineering starts to get development. Forward engineering is same as the software engineering process, but only the one difference is that it is carried out always after reverse engineering. In general software engineering process, it starts with the requirement gathering, but over here we are starting with the code. We are applying the reverse engineering principle, and after that whatever the specification we are getting, after that only we are starting with the forward. That is only the difference of forward engineering. In most of the cases, forward engineering does not simply create a modern equivalence of the older version. See, here the main aim of the forward engineering is not to create just a new version of the older program, but rather we can say new user requirement, new technological requirements is integrated into the re-engineering effort while doing the forward engineering process. The redeveloped program extend the capabilities of the older application. So we can say this re-engineering is just not to redevelop the software as it is, rather it extends the capabilities, many capabilities of the older application with new technology principles. Thank you all of you.